Good Not in Jail Day, Thursday edition of the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys, Dale Hellestrae, everybody.
Well, a couple things on my mind, Steve. First of all, it's a Thursday, so it's a short day for me, so I have to talk fast.
Hold on. Somebody's talking. Okay, now go ahead, Dale.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who you had there.
No,
Number
my
one,
computer was on.
Autumn just had a pre-show conversation with your boy over here. I feel for you. Not celebrate Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
I think that's well known. I think I've said that over the years. I'm just not a holiday person.
Okay, well, you know what? Become one. You're 45 years old. Become one. I'm sorry,
why
Autumn.
Start now?
Autumn, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What are you doing for Halloween? Are you decking your house out, trick-or-treating?
We are dressing up as whatever that show is, the Belle, and whatever.
You did. Last year, you guys were Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
With the grandkids.
Yes. And this year we're Belle. Becca's going to be the princess, and I'm Papa. I don't even know what Papa looks like. They got me, got me an outfit. Yeah, can I just be me?
We have an event here on the 7th floor of the Arizona Center where we do the show from. There's an event here tonight. By the way, you guys are welcome. I had no idea. Okay. But I'm coming down and I'm hosting some live broadcasting stuff tonight. Doing what? I don't know. We'll find out later on, right?
Okay.
But I'm doing that. And my first question was, do I have to dress up? And they were like, no.
Pick something, Steve.
I'm going to come as me.
Yeah. And then secondly, is Mike on yet?
I believe he is.
Okay, then I'll just get this out. We'll go on tomorrow.
Got a couple of minutes, yeah.
We'll go on tomorrow and talk about this. But when is the Valley going to realize that Devin Booker's not the answer? When is the Valley going to realize Devin Booker's not the answer?
All right. Izzy took a lot of heat for this conversation back in the day because he was on that front. Devin Booker's not a superstar. I'll say this. Devin Booker has changed in the last 2 to 3 years.
He's dramatically changed. Does not look like he enjoys making his $50, $60 million a year.
Hey, it's a miserable life, man.
His place up north in Flagstaff and Pine Canyon. Yeah,
it's
a rough
miserable life.
It's a rough life for old Dev.
You know, just not having to worry about the bank account, just doing whatever you want out there. It's stressful, man.
So anyway.
Those people have stress too. Of course, we're going to have Mike on. You take off as well. And then I'll get you guys through the rest of the show. Uncle Lou is tomorrow. He's going to join us at 9 o'clock tomorrow again. This court thing moving kind of messed up the week. So I appreciate everybody being flexible as well. But look, bye week coming up for SCA off of the loss there at Arizona Lutheran Academy. And then playoffs are underway here coming up here. And it's win and you go home, or lose and you go home. I say it
win
properly.
And you go on.
Yep, and let's get into it with the bird's eye view. Let's see what the playoff looks like for Mike Sheahan. I'm taking it up for you, man. I'm going the beard long. I'm going to be like ZZ Top by the end of your playoff run, probably. And... How you doing, Mike?
It's a long one. I hope it's a long one. Good. How are you guys? You know what? I'll say good morning. I'm like Dale. Instead of just jumping right into conversation. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Dale.
Yeah. Always good to see you, Michael. I've got a short period of time. You're going to be long-winded today, so I just wanted to get that out there. Stop. Devin Booker needs to go. But anyway.
This might be my least amount of talking today.
Dale was afraid. Dale's like, he's trying to avoid me after that loss the other night. He doesn't want to have me on here and everything. So, I want to let you guys battle it out.
What did the school have you doing yesterday that you blew us off?
I actually had to substitute.
Oh.
So everyone, So I every once in a while, I substitute if they're short on people, or there was a day, I don't know what they call it, not a teacher in-service day, but they did a bunch of stuff for the teachers yesterday. A couple were out, so they literally called me and were like, "Hey, can you work tomorrow?" I'm like, yeah. So I was I sat in the hub, which is the technology area where they make robots and stuff. so out of my element. But I was there. I was there for the people.
I was going to say, what class would they slip Mike Sheahan in?
All the kids in the tech place are like, no, coach, this is how we do it. This is what we do.
That's no joke. You're not joking. Literally, I'm
trigonometry.
Like, what are you guys doing?
American history.
And then Mike's all like, how do you guys turn this computer on?
I just sat there and watched them work.
Yeah.
I drew up some football plays, but that's it.
Well, you're not the typical sub. You know, I mean, I remember substitutes. I had one ex-football player when I was growing up. He played at Coronado High, played at USC, a guy named Jim Brady, and he was a substitute teacher. And he came in, and we didn't treat subs particularly well. When I was growing up,
fair.
And we were just a little bit louder than usual. Not me, not to say anything to the sub.
Not him,
He, all of a sudden, he comes walking up behind me. I'll never forget it. I think I was in third grade. And he grabbed me right here, and he was standing behind me and started squeezing. And I was like, I almost went into shockwaves.
Like if he played, he's had huge hands. Right?
Yeah,
so he's one of those
I'm
guys,
like, what? Okay, I'll be quiet. But it's like, if you tried to do that today, you'd be in jail by tomorrow.
Not allowed to touch people today.
That's no joke. Yeah, no hands, dude. You want to, as much as you want to, and as much as they barb at you, you can't do anything. That's fair, though. It's good.
Oh, goodness.
Well, let's get into it. I mean, I know you're trying to get past it here, but in all seriousness, I'm most curious about what the psyche of your team is after going to ALA last weekend and losing that game 35-21 in that. What was the psyche of the team right after the game and as this week's gone on?
Actually, it was probably the most needed thing for this team. It was the most needed thing for this team. And remember, we were 6-4 last year in a 12 seed. The year before, we were 8-2, and I think a 3 seed or something like that. So realistically, like, it was probably the best thing for us. Like, yeah, it's cool to go undefeated in the regular season, but at the end of the day, like, what does that matter?
Right.
I mean, what matters in that, right? Like Dale likes to say, you don't put the record on the ring unless you want to. And I think as far as like good football teams, you have to get beat. You have to be humbled. I sent the boys I jumped in my devotion the other morning and it just so popped up. It was talking about kind of being like hungry and humble, right? And it really is. It popped up. I was reading it like 5:30 in the morning and I'm like, took a picture, sent it to the boys, and it was just it's definitely something that needed to happen. And I think after the game, everybody looked like their dog got shot, which is good.
Right.
Which is good because when you're sitting here and you kind of beat some teams that that things become too easy, and then PC we get challenged, and we kind of came through that with 26 seconds left in the game, and then Camp Verde's a good challenge again, and then we go into ALA and they were hungrier than we were. They were absolutely hungrier than we were. They ran the ball on us very well. We didn't get the ball. We didn't run the ball at all. We did not do a good job of taking any kind of control of the game. And I think it was probably the best thing that could have happened for us. It was very humbling for everybody, including myself, including the coaching staff, including the players, for sure.
So a lot of talk about the attitude before we move on, because I'm interested to see how you're handling the bye week. Because you usually don't have a bye week going to the playoffs. That's an NFL kind of thing.
Yes.
That you all always fight for. But when you're watching film of the game, give us a couple things that jumped out to you that either concerns you or you can fix or something that you maybe hadn't seen all year long.
I think there's a lot to fix. And I think we kind of we had a good long session, coaching session, all that stuff. I feel like there's calls and technique and positioning that we can fix, right? What we're trying to fix right now is up in the physicality again, that was the one thing I was probably the most disappointed in is a little bit lack of physicality. And since I've been at SCA, I've tried to change that tone. I've tried to make the teams more physical. And I think we are. I don't think we have lost that identity, but I feel like we got hit in the mouth and we probably needed that to kind of get back to where we were. Right. So there were some glaring things that we need to fix, and we have been working on them this week. And I think, was your question in there what we're doing this week or how I'm
No,
handling that?
that was the question after this next one. So when you say you felt like you got punched in the mouth and all that, because
I didn't feel like it. We did.
Yeah,
We did.
I,
So, yeah,
okay,
we did. Yes.
I watched a little bit of the film. The frustration level of playing against an offense like that, where it's 3 yards, it's 3 yards, it's 4 yards, first down. It's 3 yards, 3 yards,
Yes.
2 yards. Oh, go for it on 4th down, first down. And nothing looks pretty. It's all a mash of humanity and all that.
Yes.
How hard is it to get the kids to stay reading their keys instead of trying to do too much?
Very hard, right? So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, we got a couple like stops. We got them in 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 4th and 5, 4th and 7, 4th and 3. And, I feel like the kids start to press and they become kids again, and they kind of don't necessarily stay in their gap. They don't hit things as hard. They almost like go in to try to get them down instead of try to stop them, instead of try to like run through them or do all those things. And I feel like, there was a question in there, but now I'm just like, I'm literally like going through things in my mind from the field and then on the film. But like,
How hard is it to keep the guys in an offense like that you can try and practice against
it's hard.
But we talked about it last week, that first drive.
Yeah, it's very hard to make them try to not do too much.
Right.
So that is a great question, right? So it's hard to not make them try to do too much or make up for somebody else, right? So against an offense like that, Coach Peter does an amazing job. They've been doing that forever, and they're so good at it, right? So you can try to take away this, they'll do this. You take away, do this, you do this. And honestly, their backs do such a good job of just staying true to the hole, staying true to the blockers. They see a sliver of daylight, and they've got, that nose pointed forward. They're not standing up. They're diving forward. They're doing that stuff. Like, every yard is important to them, and every yard wasn't important to us apparently last week. So it was honestly, like, kind of going back to it, best thing that could have happened to us.
Right.
I love it. And I should almost send Coach Peter a thank you, because we needed that. And I think everybody wanted us to have it. You don't want it, but everybody wanted us to have it for different reasons rather than us wanting to have it. But like I told the boys, I don't know if I've said it on the show, I told the boys like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I said, you guys need to get beat. You need to be humbled. You need to get beat. This team needs to get beat so our mentality can change. You can't be front runners at all times. Now we're underdogs, and I feel like we play better from that spot. Our kids we have good athletes, physical kids, and maybe we'll turn it up a little bit because we are on the backside of that, and we're the underdogs now.
One question before Steve jumps in here. So offensively, the one thing when I glanced at the film that was glaring to me, the lack of running the football. Was that a game plan thing? Was that hey, we got down by 14, we got to throw the ball? What? Or did we even realize that's going on during the game itself?
I felt it in, it was kind of like the flow of the game. Like, we have good athletes, right? You want to get your guys athletes in space, but if you do not execute properly, and especially there's only there's on a pass play, there's four things that can happen. You can throw an interception, you can throw an incompletion, you can get sacked, or you can have a completion, right? So you're looking at a 25% play if you look at it like that. And we probably threw the ball too much. We need to establish the run game. I think we got away from it too quick. And what happens is we wanted to try to make it a track meet. And like, that's not my style, right? It's not my style. I want to, like, if it becomes a track meet because we're doing what we do, that's what happens. But when someone takes you out of what you do, you can't just try to make it a track meet. If they're bailing, they're playing cover 4 and they're at, 15 yards and we're throwing underneath and we're still dropping the ball. Like, you got to get a run game established. And I will say this, we will be establishing a run game. In our offensive period the other day, we didn't call one offensive play. We ran team offense, and I didn't care if the wide receivers cared at all. Every single play was a run play, and I don't really care if anybody hears that. We ran a whole 20-minute session of team offense, not one pass, because I think we can't pass. Well, we have to be able to run the rock. In the playoffs last year, I went back and looked at it. I'm just talking now. Here we go.
Yeah.
But in playoffs last year, I went back and looked at it, and Coach Martin went back and looked at it and did, okay, I said, we got to be able to run the rock if we want to win a state championship or we want to go far in the playoffs. Like, we've got a tough road in these playoffs. Coach Martin pulled up the numbers. We won a state championship last year, right? The numbers in the run game were 71% run, 29% pass.
And we had athletes.
what
And we
wins
had
you the
athletes
playoffs.
last year.
Yes, we did. And honestly, last game, I think we were 12% run.
Yeah.
That's not going to win you many games. And coaches learn from that.
Yeah.
Players understand that. They get a good grasp of that too, because, hey, we're going to run the rock more. I think the kids are pretty smart kids. They can say, okay, I get it. I know why we're trying to. We can't just throw the ball around away. We can't just let them sit back, tee off on us, blitz us or drop back. So we got to run the rock a little bit. And here we go.
So, when I saw the score and I saw the breakdown, I said, oh, they threw a lot because they were down early in this game, and you guys just weren't, right? It was 14-14 roughly, I think it was at the end of the first. Then
so
they went up by 7 in the second,
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I guess from a coaching question, this is a coaching question more than what you guys did, et cetera. How does it get to that point where you guys, I'm just going to say it, threw out your game plan that you normally do going to this game, especially with the team that just runs the ball? That's all they do. Maybe they had one pass in the game, right? And that stuff. So what happens in leading up to the game and going into the game and during the game from a coach's perspective where it does get thrown away like that? Like I said, if you were down 21-0, all right, I understand. You got to throw the ball to get back into it. But it wasn't that case. So just from a coaching mindset, or are you able to look back and say, what happened that happened in this situation, from a coaching, strictly a coaching perspective? Because it wasn't the flow of the game that caused it to happen, at least from what I saw and the score in that game. So just how does something, because we see it a lot in every level, don't get me wrong. So what happens from a coaching side?
Well, it felt like the flow, right? When they're having long sustained drives and they go score or something like that, you feel like you have to we got to get this back real quick, or you get put on your heels and you got to throw the ball a little bit. I had an answer in there. Hold on.
Well, just to follow up on that there. Yeah. So because they had long sustained drives, your offense couldn't get into a flow. I mean, I guess you kind of gave them the props for that, but is it them dictating that to where you guys felt like, okay, they just drove it for whatever, 8-9 minutes, scored a touchdown. Well, we're not going to get the ball that much, so we need to do this and score quickly so we can switch this around. Is it something to that effect?
I think I think the flow is kind of what kind of got to us a little bit, because we had 2 huge plays for touchdowns, right? So you feel like, okay, they went and had a 10-play drive, we go score in 5 plays. They wouldn't have a 12-play drive, 15-play drive. We go and score in 3 plays, right? So you have that, what happens is, we can score, we can go deep, we can have the big play. And once they take away the big play, the mentality does need to change. And it was great. This is actually, like I keep saying, best thing in the world for us, because it'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. We're not doing that. There's been 2 times since I've been at SCA that we've thrown the ball too much and we've lost both times. And was it not Valley Christian? It was Pima. The first time we ever played Pima, we threw 54 times. We lost by 3 points. If we established the run, that was my first year, right? That was the first championship year. So that if we established the run, we got a little bit better chance in that game. 54 times is not going to win you something. When you have 38 offensive plays and you throw 32 of them, you're not going to win a lot of games. So it'll change.
All right. So first year of 2A using this playoff type system. So now you guys have a bye week this week. You don't know who you're going to play. You're not going to say it, but you maybe have a feel who you're going to play. How have you handled it as a head coach and down through your staff this bye week that I kind of think comes at a great time, but what say you?
Well, first of all, let's go back to that game 10. I feel like our mentalities were not there. I felt like the kids thought it wasn't as important. They already knew they were going to have the bye, right? So we kind of had a feeling we had kind of figured it out, or the kids did, and all that stuff. And everybody's like, well, we already have a bye this game. Why are we even playing this game? One, you still got to play the game. But anyways, so that happened there. So they were kind of checked into that. My mentality last week was like, okay, let's really give him like a bye week. Let's really kind of like, if we would have won that game, I think my mentality would have been a little bit different going in this bye week. And since we did lose that game, I think my mentality entirely changed as far as going into this week. Now we've used the bye week and it's Thursday already, right? Is it Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going fast. The bye week doesn't go that slow. It goes fast because you feel like, but the mentality that kind of I went into would have been a little bit more of a rest type thing. I think if we won, um, it's still a resting. We're still trying to get better. We're a little dinged up. There's a couple guys that we got to get back out on the field that haven't been with us for like 4 or 5 weeks that should be back for this next playoff game. We got some good news on 3 key players possibly coming back for that game. But my mentality this week is we have lifted practices is what we're kind of doing. So we're going one day this, one day this, one day this, one day this, one day this. And the practice schedule is much more physical. We are hitting, right? So we're only out there, we're full pads, we're not in shells, we're not doing that stuff. We're suited and booted and we're being physical. We're hitting the sled, we're hitting each other, we're going to the ground. On those days, because I feel like we've got to bring that mentality back. As much as you want to feel better for the playoffs, freaking better be prepared for the playoffs at the same time. So I think we're getting our rest, but we're up in the physicality. And if you don't make it hard, then they're just going to get soft. So it's got like the intensity's got to go up. It's playoff time. So yes, we're resting. Yes, we're more physical. Did that answer?
Yeah, I just have wondered how you were approaching it, and going back real quick to last Friday night, I think you've heard me tell the story. It's so much harder physically to play defense than it is to play offense. And so you think, oh, well, they're on an 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 play drive. They're getting tired offensively. You don't get tired offensively.
No, they're getting more excited.
Yes.
They're getting the adrenaline
defensive
going.
line.
They're imposing their will.
And when you have a lot of guys going both ways, you think, oh, it's even. But no, if you can control the ball a little bit more, it kind of gives your defensive guys a little bit of a rest, and it's a weird way that happens. I didn't find out about it until playing an all-star game, and I played 5 plays of defense and went over and threw up. Yeah. But I could go on 20-play offense.
I've never heard that story. Hold on. Tell me more.
Well, you won't tell any stories, so.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you, dude. I'm like,
so who, as you're going through this bye week, obviously you're playing the winner of, who is that?
Tuba City and Morenci. Yeah. Tuba City and Morenci, yep.
Okay, now is Morenci kind of the same as they were a couple years ago?
They run the rock.
Yeah.
They run the rock. Yeah. So the 77 spot or whatever they put on SCA before I got there in the semifinals is still there.
Before you got there, I was standing on those sidelines.
That's a lot of points, dude. That's a lot of points.
I have one quick story.
You were on that staff. I believe you were on that staff.
But we put up 40 against a damn physical.
That is true.
But I'll never forget, go in halftime, do all this stuff, try and pump them up. First play of the second half, they hand the ball out. The dude goes 80. Our offensive coordinator walks by me and goes, well, at least they scored fast. I said, what are you talking about? I was hoping they'd had
it's like ALA.
Yeah.
ALA took 18 plays instead of 1. Like, hey, maybe that works better.
Go ahead.
Oh,
no, I'm just laughing because your story's there.
Yeah.
But you're on, you're off. How do you keep young kids, right, going into this bye week out of their schedule? Normally you've had a bye week. Even if you had a bye week now, normally you have another one out there, right? With all those distractions. They're used to going every week. Then you come off of that loss. You have a, quite frankly, at a professional level, you worry about after bye weeks, right? And how the teams are going to respond and things to that effect. So, you're doing all that practicing. What's the weekend like for these guys? Because obviously there's no game on Friday night. Are you giving them some time off going to next week? And then as a coaching perspective with the guys, obviously you don't know who you're going to play. Are you already scouting Tuba City and Morenci, both teams? Or what's the procedure there from the coaching staff?
Yeah, so we're kind of any film we can kind of pick up. Not everybody likes to share with us, so we don't get tons. So we have our minimal amounts, right?
Hey, a
So
few years
I
ago,
my
everybody was
first year,
willing to share.
dude, my first year, everybody's like, "Here you go,
Yeah.
coach. Here you go. You want what do you want? You want our film against him? Do you want the end zone?" And all of a sudden, like the well dries up a little bit. It's weird. But it's yeah, so I've been trying to get some film. We have a little bit of film of each one. You can kind of look online and find some stuff too, but kind of preparing for both, looking at both, not trying to get into it too much, really concentrating on getting back to SCA football and concentrating on ourselves, the cheesy coach cliche stuff, but really starting to concentrate on ourselves, do our thing. Saturday we'll be practicing, and then once at 8:30 in the morning we'll be done on Saturday. Then they're good until Monday again, and obviously Saturday we'll know who we play, so we'll kind of be able to at least do little bit of install. Like we've kind of done install, but it's it's a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
Against both teams, and kind of, hey, this is what we can see, this is what we can see. But once we get to Saturday, we'll know. And at least we can walk through some stuff, talk through some stuff, get in what we want, what we're wanting to do, what we're wanting to attack. And come Monday kind of helps because, it's not an install day. We can install Saturday. It's not the day after a game. They're not dead tired. So we can install Saturday morning and get to work on Monday.
Is there a viewing party on Friday night?
No, I don't think so. I think I want everybody, we have practice or we have a lift. So
Yeah.
I want everybody kind of like, as hard as we're working, I do want them to kind of get away from a little bit too, right? So
Well, it's
they're
Halloween
not
too,
constantly
right?
doing it. You know what? These boys have been stressed for last week. They took that serious. They took that hard. We've been pretty hard. We've been pretty like, adamant about a lot of things. So I feel like they need to kind of Friday night, if they watch, I mean, the coaches are going to watch it. Obviously, we're going to watch it, all that stuff. But if they're not watching it live, I'm okay with it. Like, just kind of be some kids on a Friday night. You haven't had a Friday night off in a long time. Get a little bit of rest, relax, don't do anything stupid. See you on Saturday morning. Let's get to work.
Now, are you actually going to go to the game? Or because, I mean, I know you're a big trick-or-treating guy.
No, my kids, it's faith family football at the end of the day. My son is going as Goose from Top Gun. So then my daughter is going as a blow up goose. So like, yeah, I know. So
who goes as the second person,
Dude,
Mike?
I don't know.
You go as Maverick or Iceman. You don't go as the secondary guy.
It says the guy who doesn't celebrate Halloween, doesn't give out candy.
You don't celebrate Halloween.
The house is dark.
Halloween's fun.
Yeah.
Turn those lights off.
You turn your lights off? Come
Oh,
on,
yeah.
dude.
I'm probably not going to be home. NASCAR's in town this weekend. I got plans.
We got candy, and then we got these little, like, you ever seen those little teeny mates, those little football guys, like the little ones, but like miniature size? Have you seen those before, like football players?
I have not.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We got mini Jesuses to give out. So we got mini Jesuses to give out with Halloween candy. So there's gonna be like, what is going on? But some people are gonna love it. Some people might leave them, but they're getting some little mini Jesus.
To be thrown in the front yard as they're
exactly.
walking out.
Oh, dude, I'll take them all back. I think they're awesome, dude. I think
So
they're awesome.
do you decorate the house? That's the big question.
Yeah, that Holly, we've got all these like special lights outside that she likes to do. It's like purple and orange the front. We got some spider webs and all that nonsense, and a couple hands coming out of the ground. So yeah, we not too much, but enough for me. I'm not like a big Halloween decoration guy.
Couple more football questions, then we'll let you go. In the NFL, when we get a bye, probably had 5 of them. We could play any one of 4 teams. So it's you're trying to guess. Oh, we think this team's going to win, and we think that team's going to win, but you don't know in football, and so it's hard to prepare. My question to you was, after last Friday night, coming into this week, how's the conditioning of your football team, do you feel?
Actually pretty good. That's been kind of the emphasis. The lift and conditioning is pretty tough. Like, so we get a good lift in, like a good hard lift, pushing the boys. And then our conditioning has been sled work for the entire team, quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, O-line. So that thing is going up and down the field. So that is, that's been our condition, not just running, but we got to hit something, get off the rock, and that's been an emphasis. We're doing it again today, so it's we know. Yes, we are doing it.
No,
again
you don't put Paul Clark on that sled, do you? 'Cause that's
today.
really
No, all
not.
the coaches are on there too. Yeah,
That's really no.
absolutely.
You can't. You tell
Yeah.
Clark to get off. That's not fair to the
We
kids.
had to Coach Gilbreth, like it's really, once that thing gets hit, he's real shaky. So we got to make sure he's holding on real tight. We got another coach grabbing him around the waist, and you know what I mean? So it's like, well, we got a lot of guys on there, but we got to worry about him in his old age so he doesn't fall and we have a silver alert, so whatever it's called.
Yes,
So, you know what I mean? So,
and he'd sue you in a heartbeat. Trust me.
oh, absolutely. I love that guy, but if he ever listens, he'll be like,
I do have another
laugh,
coach.
though.
I do have another coach's question because it pertains to a lot of what we talk about on this program with coaches and when things go wrong. Specifically, like I'm going to talk today after you guys are gone about Drew Penzing with the Cardinals, the offensive coordinator, what he says, stuff like that. So, the game plan wasn't what you thought it was last week. And I don't need, specifics between you and your coaches. I'm not looking for that. Just more of a coach's mentality of how do you fix that after something happens that you don't particularly like, you didn't like what you saw out there. How does that get fixed after the game? Is it a relationship thing? Is it a dictation thing? Is it he also realizes that they didn't call the right plays? What's the process in this from a head coaching perspective going into the next game and fixing that stuff?
I think it's just a good conversation. I think our staff gets along extremely well. If their staffs at kind of butt heads, I think it's probably tough, and some people would probably stand still to what they want to do or whatever. But I feel like just talking to our coordinators, everybody is super like connected on this staff, whatever lack of better words, but we have good relationships, right? So there's no fighting, there's no any of this stuff. So when things are discussed, it's pretty open minds and people are pretty realistic on it. So I feel like the coordinators kind of like both of them are freaking awesome at what they do. They internally reflected with also having good conversation outside with the entire staff, because more heads are better than one, right? And I feel like they're not hard-headed, they're not any of that stuff. There's no like dictation, there's conversation, right? Like there is really a good amount of that. And I feel like Coach Martin is the one that went and ran the numbers in the playoffs, and he saw the 71-29. So, you know what I mean? And Coach Clark is beating himself up because of all this stuff, and he's already got like, this is what I want to do. I didn't do it. I thought we could do this, so there's such good reflection from the staff and good conversation, a lot of TION words. Like it's been working out well. It's been a good week. And I think that self-reflection and a staff that works well together, we can get it fixed real quick. I hope.
So
it's too late if it's not.
So it's a Drew Penzing problem is what you're saying.
Yes. You know what? The dang Cardinals are so close. What if they've lost 5 games within like 13 points?
Yeah.
Isn't it something like that?
Yeah.
Something like, so what is that's crazy. And then one, obviously,
Well, what I lament with them is that the head coach keeps saying, like, there's a dichotomy, right? Kenny Dillingham's like, hey, I called coaching friends of mine to figure out how to get out of this, how to fix this, etc. And Jonathan Gannon's like, I never overrule my offensive coordinator. It's his job to do that, and I'm okay with anything he does, which we all think is bullcrap, right? Because
you're going to have some finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
That you said that is, I talked to Dale the other day, and I got a couple coaches' names. We don't need to bring them up or anything like that, right? But I reached out to some coaches. And I'm only 43 years old. I feel old and I feel like I've been around forever. But there's dudes that have been around and done much more than me that have tons and tons of state championships and are probably the most successful in the history. I had some amazing conversations, and Dale referred me to one because he has a great, web of individuals that he knows in the state. And it was awesome because I feel like coaching, you put so much pressure on yourself. I guess we're going to have a coach's moment right here, right? So I don't even know if I was ready to do this, but I think you have a lot of self-reflection. And I think I love coaching because I love building men. I love being able to coach at Scottsdale Christian because we can like profess our faith through football and do all these things and build young men. But at the same time, I want to be so perfect for these boys, and I want to be so perfect for the parents, and I want to be so perfect for the entire school, the administration. And I put so much pressure on myself. And it's not only me, it's so good when you can reach out and have these conversations with these people and get different ideas, because you can't go through life alone. And I think we know that, right? You can't do a podcast all day, every day by yourself. You need, this guy over
You
here.
need the eye candy.
Well,
You need the eye candy.
It's
Yeah,
more
but you know what
important I
I
have
mean?
the whole
It's like-
staff behind the show, Mike, than it is
that's what I'm saying. So you need all these people to be able to be successful and go through life and grow.
Yeah.
Because I've never been to the point where I've had 2 state championships in a row and you're going for a third. And the mental mind games and the people that dislike you for being successful and all these things, like, it gets to you. I don't really care anymore. Like, when you let those things bother you, you coach in a different way. You coach a little bit differently. Like, I could care less what people say. There's dudes on Twitter that freaking absolutely love when we lose.
Mhm.
That's weird for them. Great for them. If that's what you love and that's what you're loving in life, man, great. Congratulations on that gift. But I do not care about that. My job is here to build men, to talk to these other coaches and do the right thing and really get good ideas of, like, how do I do this? Because in 10 years, that tweet doesn't matter. That dude that doesn't like me doesn't matter at all. And all that matters is me trying to build these young men, do it through football and be successful. And some of these conversations that I had this week were amazing. And my growth as a coach was, I feel like in the last week, I've grown as a coach because I let my guard down and I was able to have these great conversations and really grow through other men. And that's what life's about. I'm trying to do that for others. I did it with some coaches. I talked to Dale about stuff. I talked to these other coaches about stuff. And the coach's minute right here is probably way too long.
No,
But
perfect.
but this, like, football is life. Life is football. We're trying to do certain things, and through life, you're teaching these things, and I've got to grow and I've got to learn, and I'm here to teach these boys. And, like, people that have any kind of problems with a football coach in high school, it's trying to do the right things. That's all on them, and I could care less. And I'm here for these boys, and I'm here to learn from these other men, and I'm not worried about all these feelings. I'm here to put men into the world, and that's what I'm going to do, because I don't want men like that are treating others like that.
So a couple things that jump out to me about what you just said in your long soliloquy there.
All you need is the
motivated
spotlight.
coach. I love it.
And then number one, that happens in every walk of life of sports. It happens in the real world. All of a sudden, hey, you're the upstart and you're the cute team. And, oh, look at them. They made it to the semifinals. And, oh, look at SCA's never done that before. And, oh, now you win a state championship. Great. It's awesome. Oh, you went back. Now everybody starts to sour on you. That happened to us in Dallas when we won our first Super Bowl. It was like, oh, my gosh, this is a great young team. By the end, everybody got tired of us. Look at Golden State. Golden State, when they first started winning championships, Steph Curry was this cute little bubbly kid, and everybody loves Steve Kerr, and now people are tired of him. So that's a natural progression. But what impressed me, because I had said this a couple weeks ago when Kenny Dillingham came on and said, hey, I reach out to guys. I don't know everything. Now, when you called me, I thought that was a growth point for you. And obviously I'm going to help you however I can. But I think that's a growth point. And sometimes it's hard. Hey, you just won the last 2 state championships. I know everything. Well, what do I need to know? But then to flip that in 10 years, in 12 years, there's going to be a young guy who's going to call you and go, hey, you stacked up all these championships. How did you do it? What are the things you went through? And it's so great to be able to pass that down from the older guys to the younger guys. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I'm doing it for others, right?
Yeah.
And if we can do it the right way and put our humility aside, it's awesome.
We talk about that a lot here with just the differences and just the, like I said, college and pro staffs right here. That's why I wanted to get your mindset on that, man, and I appreciate that. I was a little worried about that question because I was like, I'm going to make Mike mad here by questioning his coaching and everything.
I love it. Listen, I love people. I love these kids. I love you guys. I love the people dislike us. I don't really care at all. I'm here for the right reasons, and that's what I'm here for. And I want to grow through this and make myself better for anybody.
Yep. It's a great growing experience, and you see it every year, Mike. So
yep. So look, you got an off week this week. Back on next week. We'll talk about your opponent coming up next week and everything for that first round at home for the first game, right? If you win that one, then it's the higher seed at home again, correct?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
So your first
so
two
if-
games. would
If
be at
we
home.
win that
Wow.
one, we would be, I believe, 2 home games. So
yes,
it's
because that would
like I
leave
said,
you the
it's
second, if you win.
it's a juggernaut to the state championship.
Yes.
It's a juggernaut.
Well, you guys are a
It is-
juggernaut too. Don't sell yourself short.
Hey, no, we're the underdogs. We are the underdogs.
We
Listen,
seem to
we
play
are.
better.
I love it.
They seem to play better when you're the underdog.
So, hey,
So that's the goal, right?
yeah. Go have
Gives
your
me
bye
chills.
week and don't stress out
Gives me
about your
chills.
Bears who lost to the Lamar Jackson-less Ravens last week by 1,000
Bro, that
points.
was a playoff game for them. Stop it, dude. That was a playoff game for the Ravens. That was a must win for them. Caleb Williams is fine. Bears are fine. We're fine.
Is
Thanks
he-
to ending it that
he-
way, Steve.
he
Real
sounds-
cool, dude.
I don't know if you're trying to convince us or yourself with that
Other than
comment.
everyone.
We're fine. Have a good
Yes,
weekend,
yes,
Mike.
yes.
Good luck to you, and we'll
Yep.
talk next week before the playoff game coming up. So have a good week, and we'll
Thank
talk
you
to you
guys.
soon.
Have a great freaking weekend. All right. Appreciate you guys.
See ya. Dale, you got to get out of here yourself. Appreciate Coach joining us here on Thursday this week. Interesting off the loss, first time this year, but also playoff time. So kind of a dual focus and getting those guys, keeping those kids focused because you're dealing with 16, 17-year-olds, man. And
Well, and that's and I was being sincere. I kind of was surprised that he called me, but kind of not. Situation been in, and he just said, "Hey, I don't know everything."
yeah, no, that's amazing.
And,
Yeah,
and there's 50, 60-year-old coaches that I know through my experiences and things like that who have been where he's been,
Yeah.
and they've tried different things,
Yeah.
and some things work, and some things don't.
Sometimes you don't.
You know, but they've already been through it rather than trying to guesswork. Going
Yeah, they know
forward.
what
So,
definitely not
yes,
to do,
yes.
and it might what they did might not work for you, but at least you get a viewpoint you're probably not thinking of. And
Right.
I mean, I think I've said it on air a ton of times. I've fallen more toward that side with Kenny Dillingham and what Coach Sheehan's doing, as opposed to Jonathan Gannon. That's like everything's fine, everything's fine.
We're
And
not changing anything.
the rest of the show today, we're going to talk about Drew Penzing yesterday. Everything's fine, nothing's changing,
You
We're
better talk
good.
about
We're
Devin
good.
Booker too. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Except for his missed game-winning shot last night. The bigger issue is Jalen Green. Hey, he's going to play. No, he's not.
39-foot last second shot. We saw that a few years ago all the time,
Yep.
and that's so frustrating.
Drained it. But there's so many other issues with this Suns team. Dale, get out of here. For everybody else, I'll get you through the rest of the show. Uncle Lou will be tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Again on Friday because of my weird schedule this week. But, hey, you get me? Bonus show this week, Dale, and I'm not in jail. So there we go. Come on back, folks. The main event.
And more exciting in jail.